Welcome to the very first episode of our college podcast. We are thrilled to join this new podcast, a platform where you can learn inspiring stories and beautiful journeys of people. This is to connect the faculty, students, and leaders who mainly focuses on their career growth and beyond. For our inaugural episode, we couldn't have asked for a better guest. Joining us today is someone who had made a significant role in the field of education and leadership. As the secretary of the Bharat Scouts and Guides and the joint secretary of our college, he has made many changes and many significant roles in the field. So let us kickstart this podcast and let's begin. Can you share a bit about your journey in the field of education and your role as the joint secretary of the college?
Okay, my journey in the field of education is something amazing actually. I started my journey in the year 1984. I completed my post graduation and I came here as a teacher in Chennai. And the why I said it's something amazing is I became a teacher because of students. That is the truth actually. And the reason is, I was in standard sixth class, I suppose, in the year 1984. I still remember the poem which I took in the first class. It was Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. When I was teaching in the class, suddenly there was a call from the principal to come down. So I have to leave the class immediately as there was a call. So I went down to the principal. Before I could go out of the class, five children, they hold my hands. It was in sixth standard. Five children, they hold my hands and said, "Sir, please do not leave us and go. We want you to be the teacher." Something tickled my mind and I thought, okay, something is happening in my mind to be a teacher. Because the reason is earlier, I was not to be a teacher. Because all my parents, my sisters, they were all teachers actually. But I thought that I should be a boss of a big company in a rolling chair, looking here and there and calling for the peons or attendants, something like that. That was my dream. But these children, they hold my hands and said, "Sir, we want you to be here because you are the teacher that we have seen." So that changed my entire life and my journey started as a teacher. And I became a teacher. Then I went to higher secondary classes. Then I came to one of the famous school in Anna Nagar, SBOA, Matriculation and Higher Secondary School. There I was a counselor as well as a higher secondary school teacher. And I was identified by my then principal, Dr. J.D. Johnson, and he was telling me that you have an amazing stuff, so you must take the leadership. I said, "Sir, I want to be a teacher, that's enough." No, I find something new in you. So why don't you take the leadership? There is a school, upcoming school nearby. So why don't you take the post? I was a little hesitant to take that post, but even then my principal, he simply said that you have to take that post. Then I said, okay. Then I left SBOA and I took charge as the principal of a matriculation school. And my age was 26 at that time. And the next year, I made that school as a higher secondary school. And I brought laurels to the institution. And on the first batch itself in standard 10th, I took 100% result. And that year itself, I was awarded the Best Principal Award from 3 institutions. So that was a great inspiration for me. And I think I was the youngest principal to get that award. So that was one of the inspiration. And apart from that, I think in the year 2006, I was able to meet the chairman of this great institution, Chevalier Dr. N.R. Dhanapalan. He once called me and he said, "Why don't you be an advisor for our institution?" So that is the cause that I am here as the joint secretary of Unviolent group of institutions.
It's great to hear about your experience, sir. And how did you become involved with Scouts? And what was your experience as the secretary of the Bharat Scouts and Guides, Ambattur district, sir?
The Bharat Scouts and Guides was a great journey for me. The journey began with a passion towards youth development and leadership training. And I started my basic course because there is a lot of steps for any adult in the Bharat Scouts and Guides. I had my basic training first, then I went for my advanced course, basic course, then I went for advanced course, then I went for my pre-Himalaya wood batch course, then next one is Himalaya wood batch course, then I went for my pre-ALT. So I'm an adult trainer actually. So I had a passion right from the beginning. I had a passion towards youth development. So I thought this will be a correct platform for me to touch the hearts of the youth. So that is the reason I involved myself in the Bharat Scouts and Guides. And coming down to Ambattur district, when I became the government higher secondary school headmaster, the then district education officer as well as the chief education officer, they called me. Since I already involved myself in the Bharat Scouts and Guides, they called me and said, "Sir, why don't you take the secretaryship of the Bharat Scouts and Guides Ambattur district?" But earlier we used to call it as Ponneri district. So I think in the year 1999, I took charge as the secretary of the Bharat Scouts and Guides. And it's a great thing, the Bharat Scouts and Guides. I have trained around 27, I have made 27 training programs for the adult. And it is being bifurcated like this, everyone know the categories. We cater to the needs of the scouts, guides, cubs, bulbuls, and bunnies also. So these are very simple, These people, we take care of them. Most of them, they come from the school level actually. And when I talk about rovers and rangers, they come from the college level, adult level actually. And I think I have made a history in the Bharat Scouts and Guides of Tamil Nadu particularly. I am the longest secretary of a district. I think this is my 25th year. Myself and my treasurer, one Mr. G. Jayachandran, we both travel together in the Bharat Scouts and Guides. And to be very frank with you, for your question, we have trained N numbers of Rajya Puraskar, Rashtrapati. What I mean by Rajya Puraskar, Rajya Puraskar is a form of test that is exclusively held for the students, and the certificates will be issued by His Excellency, the Governor of Tamil Nadu. And Rashtrapati certificate means the same thing, the certificate will be issued by His Excellency, the President of India. So I have trained N numbers of thousands and thousands of people throughout my 25 years of experience. I have trained Rajya Puraskar and Rashtrapati. As well as for the small fellows in the primary department level, we call them as cubs and bulbuls. We have Hira Pank, Chadurtha Charan, and we have Golden Arrow certificates. This also the same thing. Certificates are given by His Excellency, the President of India. So I have trained more than 25,000 children in my career as a district secretary, and I have given my best. The only reason is I am already a trained scoutmaster, so it is much easier for me to travel as a secretary for this Ambattur district. And I have a lot of connection with all the matriculation schools, CBC schools, government schools, aided schools, Adi Dravida, welfare schools, ICC schools, and so on. So I have a lot of link with all the schools through my chief educational officer as well as the district education officer. Even after my retirement, they don't leave me. They want me to continue as the secretary of this Bharat Scouts and Guides. That's the reason I'm here with you.
Really inspiring, sir. What are the significant changes you have seen in this field of education over the years? And also, could you share your experience and what are the differences you have seen in the field of education over the years?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, When you talk about this education, as I told you, know, I have already now 40 years of experience. What I have seen, the present trend, particularly in education, the technology is improving very much. And particularly when we talk about this Corona period, the technology only supported us, particularly higher education as well as school education. They were supported only through this online teaching. And the current trend, if you could see that one, we are very much now focusing towards AI driven education. That's why now the whole trend is going on. So there is much difference nowadays because we were talking about chalk and talk method early days. Nowadays, I don't think talk and chalk methods works out with the higher education. Even then, why not even here also in the school education? Because we have a lot of smart classes have come in, and we cannot blame them because the technology have grown in such a way that penetrates the minds of the children. For example, if you are going to talk about pollination in science, they look into that. They look into in the smart class, in the videos, very clearly, and they are able to understand the concept also. So technology have really grown very much when I see from maybe 30 years back what was happening and what is happening now. I could see that and I could also feel that one. And apart from that, there is a customized learning nowadays. In those days, it was like, there is everything we have to learn, everything we have to learn. But nowadays, it's not so. The reason is we have customized learning, personalized learning takes place. So that is one of the reason I personally, as an educationist or as a teacher, what I feel is now we are growing very much. But at the same time, when you ask for the second one, we have also problems that because of this mobile phones and other things. The reason is we have problem with emotional feelings nowadays with the students. They have imbalanced emotions nowadays because of the work pressure, study pressure. So that really we have to come out from that emotional balance actually. So we must touch their heart actually. See, normally what we do in the classroom is, individual attention is very important nowadays. It's not that we come to the class, we teach and go. No, that is not the trend nowadays. So there must be a kind of individual attention because that is what the parents also expect from us. So we have to fall in line with those category also. And nowadays, as I told you, children are not able to balance their emotion. What is happening at home and what is happening with the teachers is something amazing. What I find from the emotion when I talk about in person about this emotion, in those days, when the father or mother, whatever they say, teacher is the guru for them. But now, where are we? Where do we stand actually? There's a big question mark nowadays. So my travel towards this education field is nowadays really education is very good. We are coming up with a lot of things, what is happening in the last of the United States of America, we know within a second time, within seconds. So technology really we had to just develop. So we have to put that technology into the right path and in the right direction. If you are able to put that one, absolutely there is no problem. That's what I personally feel, and that's what we are moving towards that technology also.